Okay, let's dive right in. Because today we're tackling a huge, and I mean huge, misconception in the world of investing. We're going to break down why one of the most common investment milestones, completing a 5-year systematic investment plan, or SIP, might actually be the single biggest mistake that costs you the vast majority of your future wealth.
And this right here, this is the core idea. You've got to get this. The real money, the wealth that actually changes your life, it's made after year 10. So when you stop at year 5, you're doing all the hard work, all the saving and sacrificing, and then you're just walking away right before the massive payoff. It's a total game changer for how you should think about your investments.
You've probably heard it, maybe you've even said it yourself. I've been so disciplined, I just completed my 5-year SIP. And hey, it feels great, right? Like you've crossed some kind of finish line. And don't get me wrong, that discipline is awesome, it's commendable. But the belief that this is the end goal, that's a really flawed, but super common way of thinking.
Now, this is where the analogy from our source material really hits home. Thinking you've won the game after 5 years is it's like going to a huge cricket match, watching the players do their warm-ups, and then leaving the stadium right as Virat Kohli walks out to bat. You've seen the setup, you've paid for the ticket, but you're about to miss all the real action.
So if all the magic happens later, why on earth do so many of us stop? Well, the reasons are actually very human. They're super relatable. Let's take a look at what pulls us away from our own long-term goals. Yeah, impatience is a big one, right? We don't see those crazy returns in the first couple of years and we get discouraged. And of course, fear kicks in when the market takes a dive. But just look at the other reasons here. Weddings, cars, vacations, lifestyle upgrades. These are usually planned expenses. They're not true emergencies. And dipping into your core wealth building tool for these is the #1 reason long-term compounding just gets completely derailed.
And that brings us to the most important concept you need to burn into your brain to be a successful long-term investor. It's the secret sauce of all wealth creation, the backloaded secret of compounding. So let's define exactly what we're talking about here.
So, backloaded returns just means that your money doesn't grow in a nice, neat, straight line. Not at all. In the beginning, your monthly contributions are doing all the heavy lifting. But over time, as your pot of money gets bigger and bigger, the returns on that money start to generate more growth than your new contributions do. Your money literally starts working for you, and then, in the later years, it starts working overtime.
To make this crystal clear, just picture a 25-year investment journey. For the first 15 years, you're patiently laying the foundation. You're building the base brick by brick. But in those final 10 years, that base is so huge that even a normal return results in an absolutely massive gain in real money.
And boom! This chart says it all, doesn't it? Just look at the difference. The wealth generated in those last 10 years can completely, utterly dwarf everything you built in the first 15 years combined. This is the magic we keep talking about. This visual right here is the single most powerful reason to stay invested for the long, long haul.
So, what does it all come down to? Well, here's the number to remember. When you stop your SIP at year 5, or even at year 10, you are potentially walking away from up to 80% of the total wealth you could have built. Think about that. You're accepting a 20% prize after doing all the initial hard work. That's just crazy.
Okay, so we get the problem, it's a big one. So the question is, how do we fix it? How do we gain the advantage? Well, the answer isn't about being smarter or picking some secret stock, it's all about behavior.
And this idea, inspired by the brilliant financial writer Morgan Housel, is absolutely key. The real superpower in investing isn't having a high IQ, it's having a high patience quotient. It's the simple ability to sit still, to ride out the storms of the market, and just let time do the heavy lifting for you.
So how do we actually cultivate that patience? It's pretty simple. Here are 2 practical steps. First, you have to build a firewall. Your emergency fund, that's your firewall. It covers the unexpected job loss, the medical bill, so you never have to touch your long-term investments. Second, for those non-emergencies, the car, the wedding, you plan for them separately. Start a different, shorter-term investment just for those goals. You have to protect your main wealth creation engine at all costs.
All right, let's bring this all home and really think about what this means for you and for the future you're trying to build.
If there was one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Starting a SIP is the easy part. It's the commitment, the discipline, and the sheer grit to stay invested through decades, not just years, that separates having some modest savings from building true, life-changing wealth.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you feel that itch of impatience, or you see a scary dip in the market, or you're tempted to break that SIP for some short-term want, just ask yourself this one question. Look at what's possible when compounding really gets going, and decide, what future are you willing to trade away?